We are accountable for everything. Everything that goes wrong. Oh, well, it's the men's fault. We don't have strong leadership. Oh, everything. But we get none of the benefits. All the blame.
All I want to say is, at the end of the day, women need men and men need women. We need each other. The children need us to work together as a collective. The better off we are together, the better off the children will be.
Fair
I think we
statement.
all need to take a second and humble ourselves and understand that we need each other and try to work through our differences, whatever they may be, for the better of everybody else.
That's how you know that's how you know I'm mature. I've matured a lot because the old me would have said, well, technically, men do not need women. We don't need women. Women are a how do you say it, a pleasure or a luxury that makes life worth living. It doesn't mean that they're essential for living. Now, what do I mean when I say this, right? Well, women physically in general, not all, not unanimously, not unilaterally, they are not all I'm just being silly, but they all don't fit under one narrative, of course, right? But in general, women do not have the ability to manipulate and affect the environment or the world in a way that will be comfortable to the standards at which they are comfortable living. And that's a fact. That's a fact. And if you want the proof, just think about it. Who's coming up with the technology behind air conditioning? Who's coming up with these computer technology? Who's coming up with all these different advancements that, when you really look at it, are really making women more comfortable? You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you gotta really think about this kind of stuff, man. I mean, what am I saying? All I'm saying is that the old me would say that men don't necessarily need women. We enjoy women and we want women around. We genuinely want women around. That you women, hear me. You make life worth living. That's the old me, though. New me is just gonna keep it to myself.
So can I ask you a question, Toya? Because my conversation that I attempted to have with T actually was sparked from what you said in reference to the man not doing what he's supposed to do. And that's fair, right? Situations are situations. But I would, again, if the life is created and at some point you decide that you don't no longer want to be with this man for whatever reason, why does the default removal of that child fall with the woman, but then you want him to have some level of authority, but you removed his responsibility? Explain.
Well, I'm the only thing that I can see with that is that I know majority of the time women are the caregivers, right? So if she's the one that's the primary caregiver for this child, I could see why she would want to have, the child full time. However, do I think that's the right way to go about it? No. But I've seen situations where the woman decides to leave and she has to make that choice now. Okay, well, is this baby going to come with me or is the baby going to stay with his dad? Now, if his dad is incapable of, being that primary caregiver, then obviously the baby has to go with the mom. But I've seen situations where the child is not a baby and it was a young boy, and his mom had to make that decision, like, is he going to be best off with me by himself, just me and him, or is he going to be best off with his father, just him and his dad? And I think she made the right decision when she decided to leave him with his father, because as a young man growing up, there's just certain things that his mom just cannot teach him, and he needs his father at that time more than ever.
Okay, fair. And I'm
So it
glad
really
that you explained.
depends, but yes.
And I'm glad that you explained that. what I always find interesting is that
That's a fair point. I mean, honestly, I mean, I mean, if we really being honest, the best solution is obviously not to be in a situation where you having kids and then splitting up and being forced to make the decision. But I understand that circumstances happen, so that's not the point. But at the end of the day, I mean, it's a lot of unfit women too. So I'm pointing. I don't know if you guys are noticing, but usually in these conversations, it always defaults to, well, you know, she's the primary caregiver, but what if the dude is actually genuinely capable of raising the kid and would actually be better than the mother? Just a thought.
Just like you stated, the women are making this unilateral decision. How do we know he's incapable of being an adequate parent if you constantly default the position of that child in your possession? And I've always asked this question.
Some people will tell you. Some people will let you know. Like they'll be like, "Listen, I am in no shape or form to take care of this baby. I work from this time to this time. When am I going to have time to, spend with this child? I just don't have the resources to do that right now." Or he'll have to figure out a way to create structure in his life that would, make a space for that child. Whereas most of the time, women, I can't speak for all women, but most of the time we rearrange our lives for our children.
Okay.
That's not unilateral. Oh my goodness. That is not necessarily true. That is not necessarily true. It's not. It's not true. It's a lot of women that will leave their kids up to go out and kick it. I'm just saying. It's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. I'm not even here to shame. I'm not even here to shame. I'm just calling it how we see it. It's the truth. It's a lot of women that won't rearrange their lives or that won't rearrange their lives for that. They gonna do what they want to do. I mean, we see it on the news all the time. It's some crazy parental neglect and child endangerment stories that you hear. Really, it really is some crazy ones. And I think just to say that is just, I mean, that's not really a fair blanket statement if we're really being honest. But hey, you know, like I said, it's like God True just said. How do we know if you guys? It's automatically assumed that the women are, gonna get the kids. It's assumed. But if you're in a position where this is a discussion, then why is that even a point of discussion? Why does that even matter? Because obviously, if it's a debate, you know what I mean? If it's a debate or if it's a conversation or if we're trying to figure out what we're gonna do, then obviously it's on the table. It's on the table. Now, if he says, "Oh, I can't do this. I need him to stay with you," that's different. But obviously, if in this scenario, obviously that the guy wants to be involved. There are guys that want to raise their kids. What more is there to say?
Lives fit our children's schedule, not our children fit our schedule of our lives. You know what I mean?
That's fair. And obviously, this situation is not meant for anybody to shoulder the weight of raising a child. We know it's not easy. But I'll lead you to where I'm trying to go so I can speed it up. Again, I find it convenient that women default them taking responsibility of children we created. Because one thing that T said, you said, and some other women alike, we created. We're supposed to be responsible. It's our seed, right? It's my child, right? So you want to take my child wherever you deem to be the best case scenario. And then you want to hold me now to the financial authority of my position. And I
don't think that's right.
I don't understand that part. Because true authority, in my opinion, just like removing a child, if me and you dated 3 years and you decide you don't want to be with me no more, no children alike, you done. You X'd me out. Do I have authority in your life moving forward after you decide that our relationship no longer exists? Can I call you in the middle of the night and say, "Hey, I'm hungry. Come over here and make me some food"? Probably not. So why is it that with a kid that is created, you get to now, because you're the parent, dictate in my world how I parent? When you remove me out the equation, it's asinine. It doesn't make any sense. And I think
that's a fair point. That's a fair point. He's right. He's right, and it's sad because a lot of guys you almost have to pay rent or you almost have to pay a rate to see your kid. You know what I mean? You almost paying for visitation. A lot of women, they hold children hostage for money. I need this. I need this. If you can't do this and take care of your kids, then I ain't gonna see them. You ain't gonna see them. And then they get on social media calling you a deadbeat when all you was trying to do is see your kid, not take care of some broad that don't even like you no more. Maybe she do, but she and mad about her life. You know what I mean? There's so many different situations. But I'm just saying though, I mean,
I would like to see some maturity on the women's side. Give those kids to that child, to that dad, or woman up, as you guys say, we got a man up, woman up. If you decide that you no longer want to be attached to this man with that level of authority, contribution, and so on, then you shoulder the weight of your decision, you grown woman. And I'll land.
But not only
So how
that.
is that equivalent? I'm sorry, I'm confused. As a mom that, had to carry a child for 9 to 10 months and actually go through the labor of birthing that child, and then you say that I should have a choice of either just giving it up or getting help from you, how is that equivalent?
That is such a drastic misframing of what he said. What? No, well, come on now. That is such a drastic reframing of what he said. That is not what he said. You're not giving up your child. You're letting the dad raise him. You're basically letting the child stay with the father. You know what I mean? You're not giving up the child. I mean, it's y'all's child. And that's the thing. Women love to say, oh, well, I birthed you and all that kind of stuff. Or, you know what I mean? And yes, that is important. Nobody is taken away from the process that and the connection that is born and formed from a child and their mother that carried them in the womb. I'm not discrediting that. What I'm saying is at the end of the day, genetically, that kid is his too. Not mostly mine and kind of yours. Kid. It's just that simple. Kid. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. It's his kid too. You're not giving up your kid in order for him to control you. All he's saying is a lot of women don't listen to what men say. We can't say nothing to y'all. So for what he's saying is you get all the say and where the kid gonna go to school. You get all the say and who he's gonna be around. You get to say what he can do, what he can't do, who he can hang out with, who he can't hang out. You know what I mean? You get a say and all that, and then the dad is finding out retroactively, or you know what I mean, in just different ways. And now all of a sudden, it's just, you know what I mean? But whenever you need something, now you can ask him for money expeditiously. I'm just saying, it's a contradiction.
I know you're smart. I know you're smarter than this, Paris. I know you are.
That's what I'm trying to figure out where you're going.
Where I'm going with it is that, and I explained it, we had consensual sex and created a child. Your 9 months is irrelevant because your body is made to make children.
That's not irrelevant because our body do go through a whole cycle, and we're bonding and we're carrying that child in our womb. So that's not irrelevant.
Yeah, true. I don't think you should say irrelevant.
Y'all can't listen. Every species on the earth walking is a female counterpart that has a baby.
That's not true though. That's not true. I rock with Ali, but that's not true though. I think seahorses. I think seahorses, the males actually are the ones that give birth. I think
that's irrelevant.
It's your role to have a baby. So why do we always why deflect from what he's saying to speak about the 9 months that you're going through and having a baby? No, what is it? What is a moot point? Why are we talking about
this is why men and women can't.
He's right though. The general purpose is true though. It is a moot point.
y'all can't listen. Every species on the earth walking is a female counterpart that has a baby.
That's irrelevant.
It's your role to have a baby. So why do we always why deflect from what he's saying to speak about the 9 months that you're going through and having a baby? No, what is it? What is a moot point? Why are we talking about
this is why men and women can't get along.
Oh,
it's because we see things in two total different ways. So for a man to tell a woman that that's irrelevant of her having to bond with a human being inside her body for
that's not what he said. It's irrelevant to the conversation. It's not. Didn't I say that before they even got to that point? Before they even got to that point. I'm raw reacting with y'all.
10 months, then birth that child and what we go through to do that versus you just coming to me enjoying some sex and leaving your sperm.
Paris.
And then say that's equivalent.
I don't think that's the context that
I think she just summed up how women view men. Essentially.
That he was trying to say it because
that is what he just said.
No, it's not.
Maybe
let's get him to clarify then.
Thank you. Paris, if a child is going to be born on this earth, who is going to be the one holding the child inside of their body?
Of course, the woman.
Okay, so that's why it's irrelevant. Because it doesn't make sense to explain to me how life is created. I'm not dumb, neither are you. So sake of time to try to bolster up the fact that your body is literally engineered to do this is irrelevant, regardless of how someone may feel about it. The fact is that your 9 months to my lifetime contribution as that parent, in my opinion, is irrelevant. So that's why
is your strength not irrelevant? Because
you directly benefiting from that strength. That's why. You benefit from that strength. You benefit from that money. You benefit from my resources. That's why. That's why.
You talk about they were talking about getting
hold on, Candy. We gotta get Bo in there before you get in there. I know you got a question though.
What I was trying to get to again, because the statement was made, and you said it's a false equivalent of some sorts. I don't get it. Babies, we know how they're made. We know how they're created.
That's the one thing I hate about these panels.
Women, because of what you said, Paris, you bonded with that child for 9 months, which that's an experience no man will ever understand from that perspective. How does that give you the unilateral right to remove my child from my life and you go do whatever it is you deem worthy or necessary, and then now hold me to the responsibility of the contribution that I made to that child's life?
Well, I don't think that all women is just actually removing you from that child's life. There's a lot of factors where you leave that woman as well. Most men do leave women. I don't know why we make it seem like the women is removing the man.
Well, if you want to look at the stats, based off of the stats, women leave men much more than men leave women. If we want to look at the stats.
But anyway, if it was created for you to actually hold that responsibility to take care of that child, why didn't God give you the resources to birth the child? So anyway, we have the resources.
What? What?
To birth the child. So why is it so hard to understand that?
I'm sorry. I gotta rewind
if it was, I don't know, is where you leave that woman as well. Most men do leave women. I don't know why we make it seem like the women is removing the man. But anyway, if it was created for you to actually hold that responsibility to take care of that child, why didn't God give you the resources to birth the child?
If men were now, guys, let me make sure I'm hearing her right. If men were capable of raising or taking care of life, raising kids or whatever, I'm paraphrasing, then why didn't God make it to where we could give birth to kids?
So anyway, we have the resources to birth the child. So why is it so hard to understand that we ultimately have the say-so in the child?
Just because you have the resources to give birth to the child doesn't necessarily give you agency or complete control of the child. Again, you didn't make the child by yourself. If we really want to get, we really want to get into it. You cannot have a kid without a man. We are not asexual. That's the truth. It just as much as that kid is yours, it's his. Because you would never be able to create it without him. You would literally never be able to create it without him. Rib.
Who's taking care of the child?
Because you're doing a horrible job. Y'all raise. I mean, answer a question. True. Why? She asked you why.
I got it. Because of the fact.
And if we look at it on average, I'm just saying from the observable eye, if we look on average, I guarantee you, if we weigh up the families raised by single fathers versus the families raised by single mothers versus the family raised by both parents in a healthy situation, I guarantee you that the two over here are going to be drastically better than the single mother raising the kid. Unfortunately, in general. It's not always the case. There are a lot of dope single mothers who have raised a lot of dope dudes. But at the end of the day, in general, we have to look at it. We can't sit there and pretend like men are trash at raising kids. No, they're not.
Can I say something?
Hold on, let me finish.
We got to get Bo in there before you.
Okay.
You've seen it that way, Paris, and women alike seen it that way. There'd be no child support. There'd be no contribution from that man. But that's not what is the case. So whoever leaves, men don't leave women in mass. That's statistically inaccurate.
Facts.
But if you are saying that you are the dominant figure in the equation, then there's no point of having to reach back for assistance. And that's what my problem is with this equation, is that women want the convenience of our financial authority, but you don't want my true actual authority. You cannot remove my child from my authority and then dictate to me that I'm supposed to take care of it. That's not how that works, which is why I asked Toya, if me and you are together, you're in a relationship with me and you break up with me, can I now reach out to you and say, hey, I need girlfriend privileges. I need you to go ahead and take care of these things when you decide to go from up under my covering? It's no different. But for whatever reason, women do not seem to understand a simple principle. If you take my child and decide to be the authority in that child's life, leave me alone. I should never hear from you. I shouldn't get no letters. You shouldn't be asking me to contribute. But what you guys want is the convenience of what that's.
True, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Toya.
No, Toya.
True, I have a question.
Bo.
He was cooking. That's true. I mean, look, guys, look, I'm going to just be honest with you. That's something that... All right, guys, look, I'm going to just be honest with you. I mean, we know that that's something that has just been going on for a long time. I've noticed it, and it's just women just love to to have their cake and to eat it too. I mean, it's not hard what he was trying to say, but you notice that they'll use any different ploy of misdirection, deflection, all these different types of tactics, and in reality, really aren't saying much of anything, because you got women up here basically accusing or defaulting to the idea that men aren't equipped to raise children. Then she's trying to make an argument about, oh, well, you know, if God would have made you guys to have kids if you were really meant to take care of the kids, when all the man is saying is, shoot, I want some say so in what the kid's life is doing. Women think that just because they birthed a child that it means that, oh, well, you know what I mean, you get ultimate say so and you're the only bearer of truth. It's a different thing when men are not active, when they choose not to be active, because, you know, there are deadbeats and there's a significant amount of them, and we don't show love to pookies over here. So I'm not condoning them or making excuses for it. We do not show love to pookies. But the truth of the matter is, at the end of the day, there are men who want to be involved, and there are men who are great fathers, and there are men who would do better than the women that they had children with. And that's a fact. That's a fact. The idea that men are inherently worse at raising children is wrong. Now, women are nurturers by nature. Women nurture better than children. But children need discipline. Children need example. Children need strength. All these things are things that you have to learn from a man. And when you don't have a man, you can tell, you can see. I'm not talking about being some jabroni dude. There's different types of men. There's not some unilateral, Brock or Matt type of. We're not talking about movies. We're talking about real life. But we're not talking about being nurtured. We're talking about, are you able to learn and overcome life? Are you able to rise up to the things that you have to deal with? Are you able to keep moving even when you're down and out? These are things that you have to learn, or you're going to have to figure it out the hard way. And everybody doesn't succeed at it. So the point of what I'm trying to say is, constantly, women will try to minimize and diminish the role that men play in the lives, while, to True's point, simultaneously putting all of the burden on us, all of the responsibility on us, all of the pressure on us. We are responsible for everything. We are accountable for everything. Everything that goes wrong, oh, well, it's the men's fault. We don't have strong leadership. Oh, everything. But we get none of the benefits, all the blame. No say, all the accountability. Is that a fair deal? I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I'm JayyRedd Unfiltered, and I am signing out.